This is Hazel. We're going to put the Islander on her from the Caribbean Quick Cut collection. Because her hair is so fine, we're going to put a lot of layers in this cut so that it'll move for her and have a little bit of a free-flowing effect. She doesn't want, or I'm not going to release a whole lot of length, but I will change up the shape of the back of her hair here. She does have some layering back through here already. What I want to do is kind of let this hug her neck a little and have the front be just a little bit more free-flowing. So I'm going to go ahead and send her back and get her ready so that we can start this cut. Okay, Hazel's back. We've got her prepped. We're going to go ahead and start the cut. She is the Islander. We're going to start this in the back. I'm going to section this hair, or comb this hair, all the way straight up from where it lives, up the back of her head. I'm going to have this be a layered Islander and just have it be kind of choppy looking. Again, that carefree look. I'm going to make sure this hair is good and wet so that it'll stay up. In order to execute this cut, you need to have a C-shaper made by Bonika. This is the large C-shaper. What I want to do is take this shear and lay it against her head and cut from one side of her head to the opposite side, using her occipital as my stopping point. And if I lay this comb right here, you can see where the comb leaves the head is where her occipital is. I don't want to go any higher than that. This comb laying at the flat, I'm going to come right behind the ear and start this cut and work it all the way around. I'm going to lay my shear right here directly on her skin. I'm going to cut this around to the other side right at the occipital. I'm going to comb that hair down. And while that's down and separated from the rest of the cut, I'm going to go ahead and use my shear. I want this to, this particular shear, you can cut either with it convex or concave, just by flipping your shear. So what I want to do is to cut this so this flips out, so it's going to be more in a convex type of movement. Just clean this up while we're right here. All right, now we're going to go ahead and release the rest of this hair, and it's going to just fall over top of that hair. On super thick hair, this works as a debulking technique. On her hair, it just helps to create more softness, a little bit of a fringe line around her neck, just to allow this cut to be a little sexier. I'm going to go ahead and establish my top layering. I'm going to take a surfboard sectioning. What that looks like is this. If you lay the comb at the side of her head, that will show you where the flat is. When you transition this comb, that's where the roll is, and the top of this is the round. The surfboard is all on the round of the head initially. So I'm going to move this hair out of my way. I just want to take a little centerpiece or a little mohawk section to establish my length. Comb this hair straight up from where it lives. May have you go ahead and put your head up. There we go. Using my shears concave, I'm going to go ahead and establish my guide. Now, I'm going to pull that whole surfboard up from one side to the other. And cut to my desired length, which was established with the mohawk section that I took earlier. Straight up. Release this hair. And I'm just going to continue towards the front, pulling it straight up from where it lives. Now let's pull this remaining hair up and cut it to my desired length. Just double checking here. Okay, the reason why this is called the surfboard top is that you get a wave right in through here with this cut. It's really tempting to go back in and want to correct that. This should not be straight across. It's really tempting to want to go back in and fix that so that it is. We want that motion to be in there. Now I'm going to split that down the center, putting some of that surfboard top on one side and some on the other. And using that as my guide, I'm going to go ahead and ride this wave, pull this out using this piece here as my front piece. The top section is my guide. I'm going to go ahead and cut. What I am doing, short hair pushes long hair. The shorter hair is going to encourage this longer hair to push out. Again, pull that up. And I'm going to continue this around the head form, just to allow her some layering. Hazel was concerned about not being too short. This is going to allow her to be layered and still have some length to her hair. On finer hair, this cut actually works really, really well because you just get more of that beach tassel vacation look. A little bit more carefree. Actually, let me pull this out at this angle. On this side, or on your opposite side, everybody has a good side and a more difficult side. It's really important to double check your finger position when executing or releasing the hair. I'm going to go ahead and part on the opposite section of the direction that she goes and pull this hair to her part line. All I'm trying to do is create a little bit of a shorter side on this side using this part as my guide. When I pull this taut, I want to pull it parallel to that part line. I'm going to flip my comb over to the finer side so that I have a little bit more control of this finer hair. I'm going to squeeze this together, and then I'm going to take my shear and just go in and point cut that. I'm going to release it, and she's going to be longer on this side and a little shorter on this side. I'm just going to pull that up and layer it just a little. Just point cut that. Check my angle and we will be finished. I still feel like this is a little bit of a long, heavy bang. So I want to texturize that out just a little bit to give it a little more movement. And I am going to use my T25s to do that with. Staying in the direction that the hair grows, so I can encourage it to move that way, I'm going to lay my shear right on her scalp, right off of her part line, and we're going to go ahead and just open and close all the way down, just following this fringe in the direction that it grows. Just to break this up a little, I'm going to go in, following the way it grows, and just release some of the hair from her fringe. You want to be careful on fine hair not to do it too much because it's fine and it can get thin quick. But all that's going to do, those little short hairs I put in there, I might do just a little bit on this side here too, just a little. Those little short hairs will just encourage this to look a little softer and encourage the direction that the hair moves. Now to style this hair, Hazel's hair, this is a little bit more of a trendier cut. We're going to have this bit of an overlay over top of the hair that we collapsed. So I want to make sure this lays in nice and close. I want this to have a definite swing forward. And I also want this to just have that messy, carefree, fun look. So we're going to send her back to go ahead and get her styled, and we'll bring her back to show her the finished results. This is the longer version of the Islander cut. We lifted this hair up and cut directly on the skin. This is Hazel. This is her finished version. Just really cute, carefree, nice and easy for her to do.